Hello everyone, this is the last video of our Ultimaker Cura series for just learning the basics of the 3D printing with this software. And I brought in this model, this ancient bull's head artifact. I'm gonna go over this model and discuss how best to print this, and we'll actually start printing it. So first thing, it came in like this and it automatically scaled itself. It's actually kind of a giant thing. And I kind of like this piece because it's also, if we look, it's relatively hollow, which means there's not going to be a whole lot of material being used and not a whole lot of interior material. Personally, I prefer hollow parts just so that we can print less and potentially have less plastic in the world, but sometimes we need those things and those objects. But what I'm going to do initially is it imported in a pretty good position, so I'm just going to select it. I don't really have to do too much rotating. We'll rotate it down a little bit, and I'm just going to hit the lay flat option again just to kind of get it in its right spot. And generally that's a good idea to do. First is either scale it and then rotate it into place, or rotate it and then scale it how you would like. Those are usually the first two things you're going to do. And it's calculating, and I'm out of coffee. What a day. What a good day. All right, kind of changed, kind of rotated itself. Don't know why it exactly rotated itself, but that's fine, not a big deal. What I'm going to do now is just scale that model. I am actually going to rotate it, and the reason I want to rotate it is so that the horns are actually parallel with the x-axis. And why I want to do that is just so I can just have a better idea of scale, because when I come over here to scale, it's saying X is 118 millimeters, so that's about 4 inches. I'm gonna say let's do about 1.5 inches, so that would be about 36 roughly. 36. Enter, and we minimize this little guy, and that'll be pretty good. It's also got a nice hook here. I don't know, maybe I'll turn it into a pendant or something, or keychain. There's lots of different options to go from here. But good scale. I don't really mind if it's in the middle of the build plate. Not a big issue. And I'm not really going to adjust any of these other options here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to edit my major settings. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down and do just a normal print. Sure, I'll keep my changes, but I'll probably edit those anyway. And I might change the quality if I really care about these details. The nice thing about this piece is it's kind of not super detailed anyway. If it was super detailed, I would probably increase the profile, or increase the decrease the layer thickness. That essentially increases the resolution. Anyway, I'm going to come over here to shell. Wall count is 2. I'm going to change that back to 1 millimeter. So it's a 3 wall count, which is pretty good because most likely it's probably not going to infill too much. I'm not going to change anything else. I'm going to come to infill, and I'm actually just going to say 0 because it's going to be so thin anyway. We'll take a look. There might be some thick parts right here that might require infill. But for right now, I'm just going to do 0 to see what it looks like. I'm going to come down to support here, and I don't mind if it's everywhere. And I'm going to stick with the 60 degrees. Now, right under the chin here, that's probably not necessary. We'll see how it goes, but I might increase that to 70. There, and you see how it kind of eliminated it? It's like almost gone right there. You know, that's kind of an area that it probably would be fine, or an area that I don't mind cleaning up. Build plate adhesion. I'm just gonna go with a brim, just because it's easy to peel off. It's kind of got a footprint, plus the support structure under here is going to provide quite a big, or provide some more stability. So I'm going to start with those. I'm just going to hit slice and see what we get. 33 minutes. Wow, that's... I'm going to hit preview, take a look at our layers. And I can see, you know, there's the support right along the horns, which is perfect. This is kind of strange that the support here just kind of ends. It's probably because it's so small, it doesn't really matter. And really, if you look here, this layer is really our only layer of concern. When it's reaching over quite a bit, it almost looks like it's the full diameter of that little path there, or that layer. So I'm not really going to worry about that too much. And I'm going to look at my layers, come down, and yeah, we can see there is sort of a little bit of a hollow space right here in the horns. But if you look, that's really, oh, come on. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 layers maybe. Not a whole lot. Thankfully, the nice thing is like a lot of some of these details, like within the eyes, don't necessarily need support because that angle is, you know, higher than the 70 degrees, which is nice. It looks like there should be a little ledge there, but. And I'm going to scroll all the way down to just look at that build plate adhesion, and that's looking good. That's not bad. You know, less is more. Like I said, we only really use the raft if we're doing like maybe big things with legs, or things with a lot of support structure. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to increase the resolution or decrease the layer size. And I'm going to keep everything else. I'm just going to keep all those changes for right now. You know, I think I'm going to change this to 75, the support overhang. And then I'm going to slice it. And, you know, it said it took 33 minutes to print this. I'm okay with it taking, you know, a little bit longer if I can get some, you know, finer detail in there. Because it's also a small part. And sometimes it's nice to get that detail with those smaller parts so that we can, you know, do less cleanup, essentially. And look at that. Yeah, that's a lot better. You know, like with the head here, the nose. The ears are looking good. That's kind of a weird floaty spot. Shouldn't really make a huge difference. Those little floaty things, if you look right here, what that's going to do is it's going to try to extrude something there, but it's not really going to stick to anything. It's just going to stick to the end of the extruder, and as the extruder comes back, you're going to get a little blob that you'll have to clean up on the print, but that's okay. Yeah, this is looking good. And, you know, I don't need any interior support for this because it's so detailed. And the size of it, it's literally like practically, it's not even 3 layers thick, it's 2 layers thick, and that's quite all right given its size. If this were any bigger, if this were, say, even twice as big, I'd probably have some infill. But anyway, this is good to go. And so what we can do is we can save the file when we're ready to print. Save file. And I'm going to save it to my desktop. And this G-code file is really what we need to input into our Ultimaker 3. And we'll do that in a second here once we save it, and we'll move forward. So hope this video helped kind of just go good model, kind of what we're looking for in settings and things like that. And I'll see you later.